Okay, former DNC chair Howard Dean. Remember him slamming his own party for being whiny and uninterested in winning elections.
There has always been a section of the left, which I call the whiny party, the party that doesn't really want to win.
All right, so is that true? That's a big question. Are some Democrats more interested in proving a point than moving their party forward, and maybe complaining, more interested in that? Here to debate, former Republican Congresswoman from New York and member of Independent Women's Forum, their board of directors, Dr. Nan Hayworth, and also former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State under President Obama, Joel Rubin. Guys, thanks so much for coming on this morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, okay, so Joel, we'll start with you. What did you make of that soundbite from Howard Dean?
Well, Rob, nobody likes a whiny politician, and the best whiny politician is one who should be voted out of office. So that's a good baseline to start from. But also our politics is becoming very whiny. President Trump was described last week by a Wall Street Journal opinion piece by Peggy Noonan as a drama queen. And we don't need whiny in our politics. We need results, and we need to see agendas advance that help the American people. Certainly the whiny is not going to win in 2018.
Yeah, and a lot of that, I think, makes a lot of sense. Doctor, over to you. Hillary Clinton made an interesting quote back during the campaign when she was talking about Bernie supporters being disillusioned. Kids 25 years old living in their parents' basement, can't get a job. I think these are the same people that have been constantly protesting and complaining about the Trump administration. Are these the politicians that are going after these voters that we're hearing doing a lot of this complaining that Howard Dean's talking about?
Well, absolutely. And unfortunately, when you're a member of a party that really actively foments very bitter, brittle identity politics, and unfortunately whose policies contribute to inequality and have a message of victimhood and demand and empower a confiscatory federal government, they basically pit Americans against each other. So it's something to be avoided. That is a whiny narrative. It's a negative, pessimistic narrative. And you know what? If Governor Dean wants more optimism, maybe he ought to consider joining the Republicans, because we're actually trying to reverse some of those policies that have made people's lives so much more difficult.
Sure, but to be fair, I think both parties can say that there are politicians on each side that the party's not proud of, and there are, members and their voters that they're not proud of, that, what are you going to do about it? They vote for you. Joel, over to you for a second. What are the Democrats supposed to do, though? I mean, they're in a position where they have no power right now. So there's not a lot to do except complain and try to obstruct, as the president says they're doing.
Well, the opposition party is supposed to be a loyal opposition, and Democrats are running up by 10 points in all national polls. But going to the political culture we have right now, President Trump is consistently complaining about how he's not getting his job done, saying that Democrats are blocking him, as they should be in Congress if they don't agree, saying that the press is unfair, saying that he's being mistreated, and it's creating a culture of complaint. And again, the Wall Street Journal op-ed pointed that out. Americans are getting turned off by this kind of politics of can't get things done, and I think the Democrats, Governor Dean was getting at a core point, which is Democrats need to field candidates who are going to speak to the people directly and get them on board. That can be done, but the whiny part of it, if there is that, it's going to have to be avoided for a successful 2018.
I think that makes sense. I don't think anybody wants to hear complaining from either side. They want to see action. They want things to get done. Guys, thanks so much for coming on this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.